I'm an engineer by qualification, a management graduate, corporate life, management education as a founder director. Then for 2 years I was thrust into a very disastrous tenure as the chairman of the Board of Secondary Education of Assam, which made me realize what we are doing to our students, to the young, impressionable minds. And basically I would like to ask, what are you doing about it? Because one of the things that the 2 years I was doing was talking to a lot of teachers, especially of the, not the elitist varieties, but going into the interior areas where a large number of students were first generation students, parents illiterate or semi-literate, and apart from school they had no learning or educational environment even to study. First, when I talk about do schools matter, obviously I think we don't have any choice, especially in a setup like this. So first of all, I think we have got to understand what is the purpose of education and what is the purpose of going through this formal schooling process. I find it very odd when people talk about why you have to teach this or why you have to do this like this. But I think the purpose of education, what the student is doing in the school when he goes to from class 1 to say class 10, class 12, he's going there to learn how to learn. And I think this is the very simple purpose of education. Student learns how to learn and how to learn on a continuous basis, because learning is a continuous process. And once we go out of the formalities of the academia and into our life, we'll have to learn a lot of things ourselves. And I think this process of education basically helps us to learn. That's why what I learned in class 7, that I studied Sanskrit in class 8, 9 and 10 is immaterial to me. I don't question why I was taught Sanskrit, because I think that was part of that process. Because this is a process, I think education, especially the formal schooling system, is a formal way of molding somebody so that ultimately he becomes an effective, a constructive member of the society. And I think that is the purpose of education. Now, whenever we speak about this, why we have started questioning do schools matters or various the issues that have arisen, I think is mainly because this is what we have unfortunately converted the school education to. And I think that is the question we have got to really take very, very seriously. We have talked about the state of, I think there couldn't have been a better exposition than what has been done by my previous speaker in terms of what is happening in the name of education. And this is something where I'm sure, whether you like it or not, it's a bitter pill, but you are all contributing to this generation that is gone on. And I don't know, in the name of, I felt that, because I am not an educationist, that somehow that we made education into a science. We have gone into so many things, and when I go through these NCERT books and the National Curriculum Framework, I feel it is filled with so much of irrelevant things, where the purpose should be that how do we mold these young impressionable minds so that they learn the proper things in life, so that they become effective citizens. But I don't know what we are going to do. For example, I find that in SEBA, we used to teach economics to class 9 students. And economics, it's a part of the social science paper, it had 10% marks. Now, no village school is going to have an economics teacher to teach that 10% of marks. So I asked them, what do you do? They said, no, we only teach the other portion. We leave, our students leave that 10% marks, it doesn't matter. I called all those persons, who are making the syllabus for economics. That can you teach economics to a class 9 student, that too in mother tongue? For example, in economics, there's a term called market. The translation that they have done in the mother tongue is bazaar. Now, our child's concept of bazaar is that bazaar that you have, the weekly haat or things like that. And the concept of market in economics is entirely different. But we are doing it and we are very happy about it. And we never question. That is what I feel, where you have also failed the system. And if somebody today asks the question, why do schools matter? I think you are equally responsible for this. I think I can say it like this because I've got. But why this has happened, frankly? I definitely put the blame on the people who had thrust me into that unfortunate period of 2 years of my life. You see, for any education system to be meaningful, to be effective, it requires 4 very distinct requirements. First, we must have a proper education administration. Today, I think in Assam, we all know that it is one of the most corrupt of all the government departments. I don't think anybody will deny. And you see the foolishness with which we approach our education. They feel the SEBA is bogus, SEBA is useless, will impose CBSE syllabus on our people, studying in those villages in Karbi Anglong, where they don't even understand the basic things. They will have lessons on Golconda Fort. A student in Assam has not seen a fort in his life. I don't know what he is going to understand out of it. But CBSE is the great thing, It is a panacea to all our education problems. I asked the education minister, you want to impose CBSE syllabus? First of all, why don't you put up the efficiency of CBSE administration into your education department? I'll just give you an example. My wife was a CBSE central school teacher. She retired in February. From March, she is getting her pension. On the first day of the month, I get a SMS from the bank that she is getting her pension. From day one, she is getting her pension. My son's mother-in-law also retired in February from a state school. Her letter is still lying in the inspector of schools office. From here, it has to now go to, I think, the directorate. From there, it has go to, I think, finance. From there, it has go to AG. And I hope that, because my mother was also a government teacher, she didn't get her pension till she died. So until unless we really have a system, so I was feeling so disgusted when the education minister, your Gunotsav evaluation, mind you, in Assam it is done in front of TV and it is broadcast live. That's why I was asking that question. Yes. He had the cheek to do that without knowing that it is his department which fails to appoint principals in more than 50% of the schools in Assam. Most of those poor teachers who were facing him, knowing very well that they can't even answer him. How many of them were actually permanent principals or how many of them were principal in charges? And I think there is no more miserable teacher in the administration than a principal in charge who has no powers but is held all the responsibilities. So until we really have an academic administration which is sound, where teachers are appointed without paying bribes, I think this is going to happen. You go to any of these village schools, you see and see. I went to a school out there was a blackboard. And they have not used it for 15 years because there has been no paint put on that blackboard for the last 15 years. And you can't even write on it. And these schools are surviving. And you want those teachers to deliver results. Number 2, we should have a curriculum which is really sensible, which really makes sense. I've told you 1 or 2 instances. But unless we really have a curriculum which really is meaningful to India. What makes me so sad is that we had people like Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, Aravinda, Rishi, Vivekananda, who had talked so much about education. What education should have been in a free India. And we very quietly, very easily decided to do what the British have. They have abandoned in their own country, but we are still continuing out here. And then we have converted into a system where only marks matter. I think unless we really have a relook at the curriculum, I think it's going to continue. Then comes the question of training of teachers, the third thing. What is the actual status of teacher training in our country? I find, when the CBSE books were thrust on these teachers, they used to say, we just don't know how to teach the CBSE English textbook. The teacher in the Jokaisuk High School, he was saying that, how do I teach this book? I don't even understand myself. This is happening. You see, I'm sure all of you will agree, many of you must have gone through the system of B.Ed. What a farce B.Ed is. Both my daughters-in-law, by the way, have done the B.Ed because after marriage they thought, kabhi kaam aa jayega. We are accepting it. So until we really train our teachers, we definitely can't. And then the fourth thing is, of course, the infrastructure. And you have seen what is the pitiable state the infrastructure is of most of our schools. So I think until we really work into that the state to which we have brought our education to and what we are going to do about it. I really tried to make an honest effort, and all the opinion leaders, everybody erupted against it. But at least until you really speak about it, that whatever we are imparting to students, is it really worthwhile? Does it make any sense? I think this is going to continue. And people will start raising questions about do schools matter? Because the example of that Ishrat, I think that was given, I think it was ridiculous because that parent unfortunately does not know what she wants from her daughter. And this is what is happening because our entire education system, you people have made it parent-centric, not student-centric. And until you really get it out of that, I think it's going to be like this only. So I won't like to speak much on it. I thought I would just like to provoke you so that at least you come up with your things, what needs to be done. But look, the state of education as just shown has been made like this, not only because of the people sitting out there in the state capitals not knowing what to do and thinking that having a Gunachak Tamasha, will automatically overnight reform our education system. And you teachers and heads of institutes, just your most obedient servant type of a follow-up of what is being told, you are doing. Until you really question the system of which you are a part, I think this is going to be like this. This is a very good beginning that Mr. Das has made. I hope there's more opportunities like that where you really come out and speak out your mind and say, this is what is to be done. We have had enough. Let's have no more of it anymore. Thank you very much.